the members live stream with Midnight's Edge. Talked a little there. Actually, probably talk too much, but that's what I do when I get lucky enough to go on something like that. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Doomcock's latest. If he watches this, I hope he does. What the guy or girl, gal, telling Hollywood spies in on there is saying is basically obviously going to happen. Okay, when you've got two divisions that own franchises that should be pumping out entertainment that is good, fun, and something that people want to go see, created by people who love these franchises, and they're not. They're basically giving the audience the middle finger, and they're going activist on everybody. You have a problem. Okay, this has been going on at least since 2015. I mean, sit there and say what you want about TFA. That was a woke ass fucking movie. All right, that was a woke ass movie. I don't care about the rumors anymore about JJ hating Ryan. JJ set the Last Jedi up, which actually makes TFA worse. It makes it worse. It's trash. That movie is trash. It's $202.06 billion worth of trash. But it's trash. And Disney's got three divisions who should be making good content for the streaming service, for feature films, to bring people into the parks. Then they've got to fix what's wrong with the parks, which is the woke shit. There's woke shit there. They've got to get rid of Reimagine Tomorrow. They have to. And what I would do with them, just a minute. Kojak, come here. Come here. Come here. Got him. Daddy's home, and he loves his daddy. What they've got to do there is, damn it, dog. Kojak, come here. Come here. Sorry, guys. Come here. Okay, he's going to his office. What they've got to do with Reimagine Tomorrow is just starve it. Just starve it. Don't give him any money. Don't give him any. Let him just fizzle out and go away. But if some of those people make a big stank, fire them. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if quite a few of those people, because they were. Doomcock put a video out, and I was pretty interested in it because it sort of verifies what I think is going to happen. Basically, since Chapek got it's now public that Bob Chapek has a 3-year contract extension, and he's got the backing of the board. Heads are going to roll, and I think, and here's the deal, and this makes really good sense to me. The board and Disney itself got the crap scared out of them, not because of Reedy Creek, but because a bullet train is being planned down the East Coast, and the stop was going to be at Disney World. Well, now the stop is being changed to Universal. So I want you guys to think about that, okay? I want you guys to think about that. Okay? That's a big freaking deal. And that's all Ron DeSantis, okay? So they're like, we have to do something. Look, when you enrage parents, when you turn your backs on 95% of society, because you're an activist fuck, okay, you're going to eventually find out that the wages of activism and wokeism is starvation, okay? So what the rumor person said is the bullet train issue really shocked him. Now, that was, look, Bob Chapek, I think his agreement was already reached before he fired Peter Rice. I think Dana Walden was the one that went to him and said, he's deliberately fucking with you. He's deliberately fucking with the company. Okay. And, it's like a normal king with the crown prince from Braveheart. Okay. And conniving little prick that he was. So they had to do something. And the fact that Chapek was able to have the guy walk into his office and ambush him like that. Okay. So, that was the moment I thought, yeah, he's either already got an agreement and the ink isn't dry, or there's a deal, because they would not let him do that. Not with somebody like Peter Rice. Again, for the people that don't want to listen, don't want to believe, who whine and cry and bitch and moan and, hi Kyle. You gotta learn to read a room. Okay, you gotta sit back and look at what's going on. Look at the players. Okay. Anyway, and basically what the rumor guy said is that they're already instituting pink slips and getting ready to start the operation to sweep people out. No, he was fired. He was fired. You notice no one's talking about him anymore. All right. Whatever he did made him persona non grata in Hollywood. Okay. Which is huge. Okay. It is huge. All right. So now we've got the word on the street that they're going to start getting ready to fire people. Now, Andre and Tom don't think it's going to happen like that. But I kind of think there are going to be divisions that are going to be wiped out. Okay. I kind of think Lucasfilm was one of them. Let's see if Pablo posted anything today. Just because it's always fun to check up on our favorite Chilean Pinochet gorilla. There's a guy that posts on Midnight's Edge called Pinochet's Helicopter. I love it. Funny as shit. No, I haven't seen anything. Nothing. It's just, I think they see the storm coming. You got Victoria Alonso writing a book. I think she's getting ready to jump ship. These people have caused an inordinate amount of damage. They've created mistrust of the brand in the country. Okay, that's not good. They've made an enemy of politicians that shouldn't be enemies. Okay, and they're bad. Okay, I talk about optics. When you have, look, the stuff that got leaked, the person that talked to Doomcock's people said Bob Chapek leaked it. Well, I understand, but he's useful for this stuff, okay? Especially when it makes sense. Chapek isn't going to work in a vacuum. He's not going to sit there and go, he's going to go in and clean house. And like Andre said, he's a conniving son of a bitch. Okay, he really is. I mean, I would be more afraid of working for him and getting on his bad side than Zaslav, because Zaslav would tell you. He'd get right in your face and say it. Okay. you won't see Chapek coming until it's over. You won't. And that's the thing. So I don't envision surgical strikes anymore. I envision swaths of people going. And while, and what they did, this person said, was they set it up so these people outed themselves. Well, you got the videos. You've got Victoria Alonso. Hey, Joe. You've got all these people coming to the surface like scum on a pond. And now that we know who they are, and I'm sure that Chapek investigated Peter Rice and tried to figure out who he's talking to. Okay? You notice that Pixar's been quiet? Lucasfilm is the only one who started fighting with the fans again. Okay. Whoever is running the social media account, their names are probably known. And the social media accounts, people are probably on the chopping block. And I could run the Lucasfilm social media account from here. I could do it. And all you would do is you get the PR Lucasfilm line. You never see me talking to anybody else at Lucasfilm on that. Okay? You'd see me following all the shows, Disney, and Lucasfilm, and that's it. That's what I would do. And the stars of the shows and the creators, and that's it. That's what you do. You do not engage with the fans. That kind of stuff is something that has to go higher up in the food chain if you're going to address something some moron said about one of the stars. And then it has to come back. It has to be vetted. Okay? That wasn't vetted. That was some psychotic SJW who lives in an echo chamber on the West Coast who has no idea who the fans are. All right? When you look at the golf clap that Kennedy received at Star Wars Celebration and her behavior, she didn't want to be there. She's on the way out the door. They've taken everything away from her. They have. And, she is done. And again, people have to learn to read a room, all right? You walk into something, you see, or you're watching something like Celebration, you're there on the floor, you're close to the stage. Watch them. Watch their body language. Okay? She didn't want to be there. She felt uncomfortable. She wasn't the boss anymore. Okay? That was Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Okay? That was them. In fact, I don't think she was out there when Ewan McGregor or Hayden Christensen walked out. I don't and that's technically, according to the Black Pills, her show. It's like, there, again, like I've said before, there are people out there who need things written for them in crayon to understand what's going on. Not my circus, not my monkey. But when you're looking at this and you're watching what she's doing, her behavior, all right? So if she's out, and I think between October and July, okay, because today is the day, the Indiana Jones 5, this is the date. A year from now is the date it gets released. So I'm going to be in the theater at this time watching a movie, okay? And I can't wait. So I think that there's going to be a house cleaning. Again, even woke folk who haven't said anything, if they're outed, they need to go. And the reason why is this. There's always going to be somebody there then that will shit on the fans, shit on the franchise, shit on the classic characters, because they're not politically correct. Okay? It is just the way it is. And we've got to think about that in the long term, looking downfield. How keeping anybody like that around is going to affect Disney. You know, the rules they put in place. In fact, what was it? I think it was Mike saying his sister, for the first time, and she's been going to Disneyland for over 30 years, said they walked in and for the first time a cast member addressed them not as boys and girls. Okay, that's going to stop, but it's going to take time. That stuff. The rules are going to have to go back, have to be fixed. Okay, and there are people who've instituted these things that probably still feel they're untouchable. They're not. Again, Peter Rice, high cross element, can be fired. Like that. Any one of them can, with the full backing of the board of directors. Okay? But what I think is going to happen is budgets are going to be cut to the point on some of these programs, and they're just going to fade away. Or these people aren't going to have anything to do because they're really not going to be allowed to do it. And they'll leave. All right? You're going to see, here's what I predict. You're going to see people leaving of their own volition. Veronica Alonso or Victoria Alonso. And you're going to see people getting outright fired. Okay. Watch Lucasfilm, because I think that's going to be a place that is going to happen. Because there are too many people there that have their teeth buried in the ass of Lucasfilm that won't leave unless they're launched. Like Pablo. I would think now, given everything we know and all of the crap that he has done, that he would say, I think it's time for me to leave. And then he would go find something to do. But he obviously doesn't want to. He's not willing to leave. They're going to have to surgically remove him. And trust me, like I've said, if you have somebody that has caused so much trouble with the customers, they can't be kept around. Even if they apologize and say they'll never do it again, no one's going to believe them. Okay? No one. I mean, it's just like Kennedy. Again, people getting triggered by her. She is done. She is done. She doesn't want to be there. And then she'll stay till she wants to leave. She's gone. She doesn't want to be there. She's not running the day-to-day operations anymore of Lucasfilm. She was so uncomfortable being on that stage. You could just see her cringing and then Harrison Ford shot her down like, he didn't say anything to her. He just looked at her like, shut the fuck up. And I think that she's done. I mean, she got her ass spanked. Okay? Yeah, and I think you're right, Don. I think I think the people at Pixar are going to be dragged out kicking and screaming, and the story group and their allies and the social media people are also going to be dragged out kicking and screaming. Okay? When you see Star Wars account addressing Pablo, it makes me wonder if he's running it, if he's part of that. Like I said, he did create the website. And I'm going to say this. He is going to make noise on the way out the door. We may not hear it, but he will. His wife will too. Yeah, they do because they caused trouble with Moses Ingram and hurt, and I think intentionally hurt Kenobi. I think what they did with Kenobi is they intentionally hurt it. Why? They didn't have anything to do with it. Like I said, if you see somebody's name mentioned in credits, that has nothing to do with the fact, did they have anything to do with the finished product? Offering some advice and some points on canon is not that big a deal. Leland Chi could do it. I mean, he's the one that should be doing it. Again, if you got Leland Chi, why do you need Pablo? I just want you to put that out there. That's a redundancy. Leland can do that. Leland does that job. Okay. And Dave Filoni was mentioned. I think he was the one that helped rewrite the scripts. Yeah, but there are others, Rave Girl, at Disney and at these places that weren't in that video, that were part of that shit. I did too, but you've got Pablo there too, and there's no reason for Pablo to be there. First off, people see him and instantly get pissed off. All right? That's a downer for the franchise. Okay? That's a downer. Somebody wrote something else. Let me see. Pablo's wife does local outreach for Lucasfilm, and I think that's like PR. She's basically a party planner because party planners can't be hired. Lucasfilm has to have their own. I'm like, that's something that's, and she's attacked the fans. She's gotten into fights with me on Twitter. She doesn't give a shit if she represents Lucasfilm. She doesn't care at all. She doesn't know what it means. Yeah, Rave Girl, you're right. Go watch Doomcock's video and see what it says. This is the stuff that is really going to be come out. All right? And we're going, I'm going to say this. I think I'm right. I think people are going to get fired, and it's going to be public. Because the public needs to see it. The public needs to see it. And here's something else. Doomcock posted a video yesterday. I haven't watched it, but I saw the headline. David Zaslav, it's a rumor, is thinking about redoing the last two seasons of Game of Thrones. Why don't you think about that? I want you to think what ramifications it would have. This is to save that franchise. I want you to think of what ramifications it would have across Hollywood, where other franchises are suffering. You know where I'm going with this. You're right. You're right, Rave Girl. You know where I'm going with this. Okay. If this is true and they do it, don't be surprised to see stuff redone at Lucasfilm. All right, when the cleanup starts, when the dust settles. I don't blame you. I walked out feeling like my heart had been ripped out of my chest from TFA, and the silence was like walking into a funeral home to go to a visitation. For Game of Thrones, I don't think so. I think a lot of people would come back. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of that franchise. I didn't watch any of it. And I absolutely hate Emilia Clarke. I don't know why she's got such a fandom. I think she's mousy. I think, 80 years ago, if she tried Hollywood, she'd have been a background chorus girl and that's it. Because she would be, I mean, when you've got Lucille Ball, Ava Gardner, Maureen O'Hara, Marilyn Monroe, and, others, Mamie Van Doren, why would anybody want to cast, Jane Russell? Why would anybody want to cast her again her in a movie? But since we don't have glamorous women in Hollywood anymore, and they all apparently want to look like men, the last glamorous girl in Hollywood is Blake Lively. That's it. She is. I mean, she is a throwback, but that's the last one. The rest of them are just maybe Margot Robbie, okay? But really, anyway, I don't know if the actors have come back, and I don't think it matters. I think, look, Carla, if you wave money in front of an actor's nose, they're going to take it. They're going to run, they're going to grab it if they can. It's what they do. So, I am really looking forward, I think, to the next few months. You're right, Don. You're right, Dave. Despite the naysayers, I'm not even gonna say it, but you know what I'm talking about, who hate Filoni, they don't understand the franchise. They get caught up in their own headcanon. I mean, and that's the problem. My thing is, I see firings now. I mean, if these rumors are true, I see people getting the axe. At Pixar, definitely, and at Lucasfilm, and as maligned by morons as Kenobi has been, I don't think the people behind that are necessarily in trouble. It's the people behind the High Republic. It's the people behind these shitty novels that don't get sold, and the people who made themselves famous by attacking the fans. People who know if they go to Star Wars Celebration, they're gonna get booed, like Hidalgo. Okay, you don't do that. You don't do what he did. And I'm gonna say this: do you remember the leaks that came out about Kenobi? They were wrong, right? They were wrong. None of them are right. You're right, Rave Girl. They do. They have to. And it goes to prove that someone leaked something to Jason Ward, and now they probably know who did it. Now, here's the reason why the story group social media team has to be fired. Jason Ward, making Star Wars, Hello Greedo, Steele Saunders, and Star Wars Explained. Those people need to go, and they need to be cut off from going to Celebration. They need to go because they were part and parcel to the division. They were part and parcel to all of this, okay? And I am going to be livid Oh, yeah, you're right, Jonathan. I would love that. I would watch the shit out of that. I'm going to be livid if it's not done because this is where the problem is. I don't think that any company like Lucasfilm should have anything to do with the fan community. They shouldn't go on podcasts with these people. They shouldn't be friends with these people. All right? Just don't do it. And oh, well, yeah, you're talking about Filoni. I agree with you, Don. They have to be purged. The people that are in that group, because the Star Wars Twitter account talks to Molly Damon. They're best friend. I would rather not have any friends if that was the alternative. Gross. You know, it's really going to be interesting to see what happens, because those people in that group that work for Lucasfilm have got to go. Pablo, his wife, the social media people, they all have to go. Whoever leaked shit to Ward, he has to go, or she does. And these websites, these fan sites, these YouTubers have to be warned. And Ward was, but he still is connected, okay? They have to be told, you are not allowed any more access to Lucasfilm in any way, shape, or form. And you need to not attack your fellow fans anymore. You are part of the problem, because they are. You know, no one who's a normal Star Wars fan likes Rey, wants this woke shit, right? But when you've got the social media people, Pablo making friends and allowing people like Ward and Star Wars Explained to have access to Celebration, to information that they should not have, that is bullshit. And also gives these ancillary employees of Lucasfilm, because that's what they are, the power to attack the fans. And that's what they've done. Well, look at what happened to Rebel Force Radio. When they were going to do a fan stage podcast, and they had complained that there are too many women in Star Wars right now, Molly Damon and Ward's ex-wife, Amanda, had a shit fit. They basically forced Rebel Force Radio out of Celebration. That's bullshit. That's absolute fucking Nazi type bullshit. Okay? And it should not be allowed. But they were allowed to do it. And I don't touch that merch. I just got my first Tusken Raider. I really wish they'd go and make the female Tusken. Somebody actually came up with a theory that she's actually Reva. Think about it. Think about it. Anyway, I'm just baffled at the chicanery and the conniving that these turdlets at Lucasfilm and their little friends were able to get away with. Rebel Force Radio is a huge deal. Much bigger than they are. Okay? Think about it. All right, think about it. I'm still shocked. And this is why that little web of bullshit has to be purged. And those people that are there need to be told, that's fine, you're fans, but no more access. And no, you don't get a free ride to Celebration. All right? All right? We don't do activism anymore. Okay? And, when you're looking at Molly Damon, it's all about activism. She doesn't care about Star Wars. She doesn't know anything about it. Oh, I wish. Hey, Planet Musk. She doesn't care. She's an activist. All right? She doesn't give a shit about any of that. Jason Ward, He just wanted the connections so he could look cool. I'm the big leaker. Okay? Bullshit. All right? This is not how you do it. It is unprofessional on the studio's behalf to allow it to happen. Okay? So that's got to stop. Then you get rid of the story group. Then you basically say we're canceling the High Republic. These novels outside of it that have been written since Lucasfilm was bought by Disney are not canon. They're not. Right? They're not. And we go on with that. It just goes on. Okay? That's what you have to do because it is literally vital for the franchise to survive, to get rid of these people. Okay? It really is. I mean, and to fix what was broken. Now, the rumor about Zaslav, I kind of believe, that is right up his sleeve. Kind of. If it were to happen, where does it say Chapek couldn't look at Filoni and Favreau and say, we need to redo the aftermath of Return of the Jedi. We need to fix what was broken. And, don't be surprised if massive changes happen like that. Because in order to fix what was broken, that's what's going to have to happen. Okay? That's what's going to have to happen. And as far as Kennedy, I'm very frustrated when people say she's leaving when she wants. No, she's done. Okay? She's done. You can sit there and dream she's Lord High Almighty, but she's not anymore. Okay, she's not. The shrew has been tamed, probably by Indiana Jones. Okay, finally. And maybe she was tamed before. All right. But anyway, it is 37 minutes after the hour, or no, it's not. What time is that? It's 4:50. I gotta go. Yes, I can use the World Between Worlds because they have to. They have to. Look, and I'm going to leave you guys with this. A hard date for Kennedy's leaving. Announce it. Do it now. And announce that the sequel trilogy is going into an alternate timeline. All right? Do it now. Wait for people to get, fired. I don't care. Just do it. I hope so, Jonathan. I think you're right, too. Anyway, I got to go. I want to check. I'm making a pot roast tonight. But no potatoes because I can't eat them. So you guys behave. Well, can, but hubby can't. So behave, be safe, be well. And I'll see you guys around the galaxy.